Lao Tai, who often watches Pakistani videos. See this scene. Do you feel like you're in the wrong place? I guess you are also very curious at this time. What are you going to make out of corn? Let me put this on hold. Let's follow along with the video. And this is a suburb of Islamabad. Every morning, locally modified pickup truck will deliver a carload of corn on time. That's right, he's really a truckload of corn. It's not that we usually look at crafts, they're old leather shoes. Waste goods, here it is, absolutely a truckload of serious food crops. Notice that this corn is not old corn. Has not reached full maturity. Friends who often eat corn should be aware of this. Corn is the best at this time. Neither young nor old. The whole taste is also the best. Now that we've reached this point, we won't sell it anymore. What about today's video? Just to introduce Pakistan. Here's the whole process of making grilled corn. And the whole production process. After all, this is a commercial roasted corn. Different from what we usually see. So how exactly is it processed and baked? Follow the video to watch. It's packing here now. It's the vendors who come here to buy. Although, this isn't exactly a farmer's market. But it also formed a scale of its own. A peddler who purchases good corn. Start equipping a trolley today. These uncles with white beards is the main merchant in these roasted corn. What about the corn? There is also a need for secondary processing. The main thing is to remove the excess parts of the roots of the corn. What about the little brother here? Place the corn head down evenly in the trolley. In the end, it didn't take a while, filled a whole carriage. Of course, there are also motorcycle modified tricycles here, also the main season for grilled corn. As the camera turns, here's another place. This is where grilled corn has to go. Come here. It's part of the process of making grilled corn. Although this place is not big, it's surrounded by houses. It's like a courtyard house. This treats things like graves. You can think of it as a stove. Do you have this feeling like me? Corn is roasted in these ovens. System, but there was too much roasted corn. Plus the corn between the vendors. Can't tell the difference. It's easy to create contradictions between these. So the idea? It doesn't feel very realistic. At this time, this Pakistani uncle, the vent of the furnace is being processed. It is estimated that such an end will be sealed for him as a whole. This will ensure the temperature inside the entire furnace. Can this thing also be called a kiln? Just like the kiln in the brick kiln factory when I was a child, I personally feel the same way. It's just that that kiln is bigger than this one. After all, it is brick and tile burning. Now start filling the inside of the kiln body with material. It's called a stove. Doesn't feel right. Small things are usually called stoves. A little bigger should be called a kiln. Now fill the inside of the kiln with this thing. It should be a kind of sand. Due to the long filling time as a whole. Here's another person. Well, as you can see here, many of you already know that. Put the sand directly into the furnace pond. Then it is heated at high temperature. Then heat up the sand. All uniformly stuffed between the corn. And there's another seal. If you look at it again, how can you have the guts to seek dragons and divide money to see the mountains? A heavy mountain is the feeling of a heavy pass. It seems that there is a big zongzi wrapped in it. It's about to start heating up. Heating is also very particular. Heat at the bottom of the kiln. What kind of fuel was burned? Watch out for these old slippers after all. Pakistan, people here, it's an indissoluble bond with slippers. Look carefully at a situation inside the kiln body. The flames on the other side are huge. Here, stir fry back and forth. The purpose is to make the sand inside the kiln body is evenly heated. I personally feel this flame is definitely comparable to a funeral home. More than that. If you throw your ex-mother-in-law in, absolutely able to dance happily. As the camera turns, the peddler in front of the door at the moment, there's an early queue. It's up to the worker now. And this heated sand. And spread it evenly between the cobs. Be sure to take advantage of the heat at this time. There can be no slack. See this scene. Finally understand why fine sand is used, instead of using big grains of sand. The main purpose of this, just to fill in the gaps between the corn. Watch these little carts. It's a special vehicle. The hub is a steel ring. Tires don't need to be inflated, and the inside of the carriage is also wrapped with a layer. metal material. In this case, it should be to prevent high temperature. Put another layer of cool yarn on the very surface. This cloth should play a thermal insulation role. It definitely cannot be used as a rag. As time goes by, the inside of the card is already starting to heat up. In the blink of an eye, this uncle has already arrived at a market. Today's sales work started. Take out the corn and peel it directly. No preservatives are added. No technology and hard work. The whole process is done in one go. This is the most original green food. Only with a dip made by myself. And just like that, it started to sell normally. That's all for today's video. That's the end of today's video. Thanks for your attention. See you next time.